The Libertarian Party of Canada was here at CBC Headquarters in Calgary, where they posted 50 Sell the CBC signs to promote their public awareness campaign to sell the CBC. Leader Tim Moen was present, and here's what he had to say about the importance of this event.
I'm here today just to bring awareness to the fact that the CBC doesn't serve any useful purpose. It costs taxpayers $1 billion a year, and it needs to go. That's money that should go back to the taxpayers. I want to raise awareness to this. It's government waste, and not only that, it undermines what's so great about Canada. And so we just need to sell it, put it in private hands, let the market determine its best use.
I also asked Moen about the importance of selling the CBC, and we discussed partisanship and the blatant bias in coverage of the CBC this election campain.
It's conspicuously partisan. I mean, just look at their coverage of the Duffy trial, a scandal where conservatives out of their own pocket covered inappropriate expenses, while meanwhile they whitewashed the NDP expense scandal where they have no intention of paying back inappropriate expenses. That fact alone could be why you want to sell the CBC.
I also talked to Trevor Schmidt, Director of Communications for the Libertarian Party of Canada, and here's what he had to say about why it's so important to sell the CBC.
The CBC costs taxpayers over $1 billion a year. That's $100 million a month, more than that. And it's simply a waste. We're talking about a public broadcaster that can't compete with private broadcasters that have to be propped up by taxpayers. And they're providing a service that's simply outdated in the internet age. There's regulations and restrictions on content that in order to protect our culture, and it's just an inefficient waste, and we want to put a stop to it.
I'm a UFC fan, and Nick Ring, former UFC fighter, is a supporter of the Libertarian Party. Here's what he had to say about what he would do with the funds if the CBC were to be sold.
If the CBC did get sold, I mean, the money it would just stay in my pocket right where it belongs. I think that's as good of a place for it as any.
As part of the Liberal platform, Justin Trudeau has promised to increase funding to the CBC. Tim Moen has some parting words for him.
Look, understand how Western civilization, the principles that it's built on. It's not built on tax and spend government, it's built on freedom. And to call yourself liberal and not understand this is a disservice to the men and women that have come before us that have made this country great. You're undermining our freedom, you're undermining our values, and read a book, I guess.
Now, the CBC has posted on their Facebook page in the past that they cost the average taxpayer about $29 a year. But other estimates out there, depending on how much you pay in taxes, are a lot higher. For example, you could be paying about $106 per year for the CBC. The average lifespan in Canada is about 81 years old. Consider you get a job by the time you're around 16, you could be paying up to $6,800 in your lifetime for the CBC. Think about what you could do with that money. For TheRebel.Media, I'm Holly Nicholas.